energy. It's infectious.
Wow.
So dynamic.
Please welcome to the stage, Darryl Bellamy Jr.
So let's start here by a show of hands. How many of you have ever had any fear or uncertainty? If you didn't raise your hand, you're lying, right? There's so much uncertainty right now. We feel it in our bodies, we feel it in our conversations, maybe in some of our relationships. But over the years, after working with thousands of people in multiple countries and a lot of research, I found that there's one skill that if we develop, it helps us to better handle that uncertainty when it comes up. Just one. It's building the strength in ourselves that when we face our deepest fears and worries, instead of like shying away or stepping back, we take action even though we might fail. And even when we do fail, we give ourselves grace in the process. See, that's what we're going to talk about today. I want to first take you back and share a little bit about how this fear journey started with me. I was speaking to a group of students, and I did something that I've never done before. I asked them to take out something to write with and share with me what they feared. I told them that I would take those fears home, burn them in my backyard in the fire pit, and send them that video to show them the power that they had over those fears. So later that night, I went home, sat on my couch, and started reading those fears one by one. I got emotional because I realized that a lot of the fears I was reading, those students who were in that room that day probably left that room thinking that they were the only one dealing with those struggles. But here's the thing, we're more connected than we think. After reading over 65,000 written fears, I see the same fears over and over again. And it doesn't matter, y'all, if I'm in a room full of fourth graders, college students, HR leaders, or educators. There's so much support when we let our fears be seen.
My fear is just I'm not going to be able to finish everything.
I feel like I'm faking.
I fear that I'm too young or too inexperienced.
Giving my all to the students on our campuses, but then lacking for my personal children at home.
You have a process to actually fear less. The fear and uncertainty is still there, trust me. But when you have that process, it allows you to take action even though you feel scared. That is what builds resilience. What exactly am I afraid of? If it happens, what will I do next? It's about every single day taking those steps to fear a little less. You've all made it through 100% of your bad days thus far. There's no reason why you're not going to be able to achieve so many things going forward. Ready to move forward? Say ready.